It's Triggered Thoughts, where the real ones speak. From the blocks to the boardrooms, every truth unique. GeniusMan, Verbz, DivineLady23, shaking up the system for the world to see. It's Triggered Thoughts.
Listening to Triggered Thoughts, blood.
Yes, people. Good evening, good day. I'm your host, the GeniusMan.
I am your man, Verbz.
And your girl at DivineLady23.
Family, how are you today? How is it each and every one of you? What's happening?
Yeah, man. I'm good, man. We're just here, you know. A bit of a rush to try and get everything sorted and get myself prepared before the episode started, but we're there now. We're here. You get me?
Yeah. I must say, man, last episode, fire.
Yeah, man.
Fire.
Yeah.
Can't lie, man. Divine, we appreciate you, man. And it's a great start to episode 3, Verbz. Can't lie, man. I'm impressed. I'm grateful. I'm empowered. And, you know, listeners, we appreciate you as well. We got to give you a shout out. Because obviously without you guys as well, we wouldn't, be on this journey. So please continue to like, share, comment, and, help us get out there so that we can also impact other people and be a blessing to their lives. So, without further ado, today's topic, people, is the complexities of everyday stress. Yo, I'm telling you, listen, this one here, it's a deep one, people. It's a deep one. Stress. People, stress is a killer. Yeah, let me just put this out there, yeah? It is something that affects each and every one of us, yeah? No respect to our persons, yeah? But despite there being stress present in our lives, how do we deal with it? For those of you out there that, well, we can't assume that everybody knows what stress is, because there might be some people that might know it of something else, but stress is a natural and physical, I'd say even a mental response to life experiences. Let me break that down. You might be going through something in your life. It could be maybe debt related. It could be maybe relationship related, but it might be something that is affecting you mentally and it causes your body to feel some type of way. You feel heavy. You feel burdened. And those feelings will now contribute to you feeling down. It's like a kind of a form of depression. And the thing is, the longer we allow that to linger, it will take a toll on our health. I want to give an example. About a year ago, I experienced something. I woke up one morning, didn't move my neck. I've had this throughout the years and I've always known it to be neck. You've heard of that, haven't you guys? Crook neck?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nothing of it. Because I know normally after a day it goes. Day 2, same thing. Day 3, I was like, no, something is wrong. Anyway, I think it went. 2 weeks later it came back again and it lasted longer. I had to do a self-check. Because I said to myself, nah, this is not anything normal. This is not normal, man. Something is wrong. And when I tried to sort of work out what it was, I did a process of elimination. So I just, took time out and I was thinking, what is it? Have I done have I sprained something? And then it suddenly dawned on me. I've been thinking a lot and there was something that I was going through mentally. I think it was just, things with everyday life, whether it's bills, there was a lot of things I was thinking about because at the time I think I was contemplating finding another job. So there was a lot of stuff. I'm the kind of person that will allow things to get on top of my mind. And I've learned now how to deal with that more effectively. So I realized that was the situation. And I know that because as soon as I now took time out and, and I dealt with it, within a few days it went. And then I said to myself, you know what? Because of what I experienced, I said to myself, I'm going to do my utmost best not to allow myself to entertain stress, because that feeling wasn't nice. Imagine you're crossing the road, yeah, and you're having to look left and right. You're like this. Literally, guys, you have to move your entire body. I remember I was in the car. Cars, you know, when you're driving, obviously driving straight is good, but you know when you're turning, I said to myself, nah, man. And for me, that's dangerous. And I said, and I had to ask myself this question: do I want that to be permanent? Because when I noticed that each time I was getting it, it was lasting longer and longer. And I said to myself, that is not something I want to even entertain. That is not something that I want to be permanent in my life. So that was a wake up call for me to, you know what I mean? Like, make sure that I deal with life challenges or stresses in a much better way. It may be easier said than done for a lot of people, but people, as we get older, we need to understand and know our trigger points, because there are people that are stressed out there and their body is acting in a particular way and they're thinking that maybe it's something else, but you don't even realize that it's stress related. And the only way you're going to know if it's stress related is to know your triggers. What stresses you out? What is the common thing in your life that bothers you? Whether it's debts, bills, pressures at work, just whatever it is, you know, that is that common thing that always visits you. That's always a common thing that always knocks at your door. That is the thing that you need to deal with effectively. Does that what I mean? Yeah, people. Verbs, Divine, your thoughts?
I let Divine go first.
Definitely. I think we're not taught how to navigate the complexities of everyday stress. I think we're taught to just kind of get on with things.
Yes.
But I do believe that we can reset ourselves, because I had a certain type of lifestyle before now where I was always stressed out, rushing around, losing weight. Then it's just a constant ripple effect. And I was then getting sick, and I'll just keep going back to that. And I had to really look around and see what it was that was affecting me in my life to that degree, and cut off people, places and things that just wasn't healthy for me. And then I found by doing that, I was able to kind of reset my nerve system for one. And I found little ways to navigate it. So I think by being still, we underestimate how much power we get and how much strength we get from a good time out and being still. Because we will have all this stress in life, but then you're running around and all of that. So how can you actually fix certain things that's bothering you if you're just constantly always on the go, rushing around, anxious? It's just a bad mixture of ingredients, basically. So I learned to pull back when I'm overwhelmed or I'm triggered by something. I like to pull back and have quiet time. Then I can think straight. Then I can compartmentalize things. Then I can ask myself, why is this specific situation affecting me the way that it does? And what can I do to navigate through it? I remember, for example, going through grief. That was a stressful time in my life, and it affected me to the point where I lost so much weight. I looked like a completely different person to how I look now. A lot of people don't even know that I had problems with my memory. I had issues with my eyesight, where my eyesight was actually starting to black out in one corner because I was so stressed by not only the grief, but everything that the grief had pulled out, all the other complex emotions that came with that, you know, and dealing with people who weren't able to give me a certain level of a safe space. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, pulling back, having a timeout is just so important. Finding time to relax, making sure that things like your diet and your sleep are on point. I struggled with my sleep. I had insomnia for nearly 3 years. It's only over I think the last year I've actually felt like, wow, I'm getting back to normal with that. Do you know what I mean? But my sleep was so messed up. So yeah, I don't think we're taught to do that. I think we're just taught to keep going. But honestly, having a good time out will really clarify things for you. Just allowing
100%.
yourself to be still, you know, so you can actually figure out how you're going to do things, you know. But
Definitely.
I could go on.
You're right, man. That's a true statement. Still, a lot of people don't realize that if you hold on, can you hear me? Yeah,
I can hear you, man.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that if you you're always busy and loads of things are just happening, you kind of rushed off your feet. You know what I mean? You haven't got that opportunity to allow your mind to just work, if you get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So, as Divine said, it's very important. And I'm trying to tell my kids this now, like, you know, sometimes when you're struggling to find solutions to certain things, if you get what I'm saying, like, just try and just lock off everything, even give yourself 20 minutes, lay down and just be like, you know what I mean? Immersed in yourself, you know, close your eyes and you'd be surprised when the brain gets an opportunity to just work by itself with no disturbances, no background sound, no, you know what I mean, Alexa, no, nothing like that. Everything off, your brain works wonders, man. It just starts to give you answers. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's very important. And you need that peace as well, because everything's going on. The world's just so fast nowadays, and you know, you just get consumed in, I gotta go to work, then I gotta take the kids to this activity, then I gotta go and sort out this, I don't know, then I gotta go shopping, then I gotta go post office, then I gotta go and do stuff for the kids, then I gotta go and try and do this thing at work, or attend this meeting, then I gotta do my little side hustle, then I got, like, when you're an adult, I'm sure you all agree with me, like, where does the time fucking go? Do you know what I'm saying? Before you know it, the day's done. Before you know it, the week's done. And the little time where you're supposed to have your little break, i.e. the weekends, we're still trying to do one or two things over the weekends. But as an adult, when you blink, the weekend's done. It's back to work.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the Monday blues all over again. That you're pissed that you never got to do what you wanted to do over the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, it's important, man. You have to prioritize that piece. And sometimes as well, I find naturally sometimes tests come. When you do want that peace and you want that time for yourself, you'll find that your phone starts to blow. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So your WhatsApp starts popping off. And it's all right to say, you know what? Fuck that right now. Let me just lay down and hold my peace. You know what I mean? And I'll get back to them later, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is about me right now. It's alright to do that. Because a lot of us feel obligated. We get this itch. We don't realize we all do it. But we get this itch certain times, especially if we're kind of, expecting particular people, you know, that have patterns to message us. When it goes off, we know it might be them. And we feel like, oh, right, you know what, let me message them before they start saying, right, like, you ain't got back at me and rare. Like, but you know what? It's all right, man. Even if you message them and say, look, man, I'm doing something right now. I'll get back at you later.
Yeah.
And just hold your peace, man. You know what I mean? Get that tranquility. It's important.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't lie. Can I just...
Go do your thing.
I'll be real. I put my phone on D&D for like nearly 2 years or more straight.
D&D.
Yeah, do not disturb.
You mean 2 years straight? You mean right the way throughout?
Like, majority of the time, the phone would be on do not disturb.
Right.
Like, if there's 24 hours in a day, probably, when I was really bad, yeah, it'd be at least 23 and a half hours of that day that phone would be on Do Not Disturb. Because the moment I switched it off that and it started going off, it just used to irritate me, you know? And it was just, I just needed that. I needed to go into hermit mode so I could actually look after myself properly, because
hermit mode is important.
You have to focus on your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, if you have such a thing. And you can navigate that in different ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be praying to God. I know praying to God isn't for everyone, but you can meditate. Like, I find doing the simple things even bring a certain amount of woosa. Like, people laugh at me, but I love a cup of tea. I'm not gonna even front. When I
know English.
Tea, yeah, if I'm rushing around and I know I've got to cook, I've got to wash clothes, there's a multiple of things that I've got to do, I will literally give myself a moment to just have a cup of tea, sit down for like 10, 15 minutes and just woosa and then go. Not just go. You know, we can try things like having a Dead Sea salt bath, lavender, Xanax if you're someone who's got sensitive skin. You can do meditation. Like I was saying, they got YouTube videos, 10-minute meditation. At first, your brain is going to fight against it because it's used to being active. So while you're trying to concentrate on just being still, being quiet, you're breathing, you're going to hear the outside noise. You're going to hear your brain talking to you about all the different things you got to do. But you just keep coming back to your breathing. And the more you do it, the more you're going to align yourself so that you will know how to navigate the complexities of everyday stress.
Most definitely.
I like that. Yeah.
Powerful.
So, you know, I did some research and some statistics. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And this is the finding. Stress is a significant issue in the UK, with many people experiencing on a regular basis. Recent statistics show that 86% of the people in the UK feel stressed at least one day a month. And on the average, a typical UK adult feels stressed around 10.3 days a month. That's over twice a week. In addition, shares of 51 and 19% of the people reported experiencing stress and depression, respectively, in 2022. These numbers highlight the importance of addressing stress and finding ways to manage it effectively.
That's deep still.
Yeah.
That's deep. Even when I think about the youngsters, the younger generation, do you get what I'm saying? The kids that are teenagers now, like, they have a culture amongst them where they are self-diagnosing each other with anxiety and depression. It's like a badge of honor. Do you get what I'm saying? And even like the type of music that they listen to, it predominantly spills that message out to them. Do you get what I'm saying? They go to school, and if they feel like they don't want to do their work, or they're kind of, I don't know, emotionally detached at that time, teachers are very quick to promote the fact that they might have anxiety and stuff like that, as well as their peers. So this generation now is full of it. I dread to think how it's going to be for them when they actually become adults. Do you know what I mean? You know, like my daughter, she came home with that shit one day, like, oh, Dad, I've got anxiety. So what do you mean you got anxiety, man? I said, I've got anxiety. Like, me and my friends was talking about it. I said, forget your friends. They're kids. They don't know nothing. You know what I mean? It's just a badge of honor, mate. Like, if you tell yourself you have anxiety, you will start to act like it. Your mind will
manifest it.
Yeah, you'll manifest it. Do you know what I'm saying? If you ignore the thoughts of anxiety, you won't behave like that. Do you know what I'm saying? You carry on as normal. Everybody has a level of anxiety because some things in life put people in situations where they feel uncomfortable. When you're in a situation where you feel uncomfortable, you know, a form of discomfort, you will get anxious. You know what I mean? For example, if all of us was to, you know, when in the near future, when we set up our own events, if all of us was to go on the stage for the very first time and present a Triggered Thoughts event, the whole of us are going to be anxious. Even if we've done it before. There's entertainers that have filled out Wembley Stadium, O2, whatever, loads of times, but they still, every single time they go on there, they get the anxious butterflies in the beginning. That's normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to just push past that and then they go away, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? But there's a culture that is being promoted in schools, in society, amongst professionals, very, very quick, I find, to tell young people that they are possibly suffering from anxiety. And I think it needs to stop because it's going to add to it. It's almost like they want people to be feeling like
I know what you mean,
anxiety, and then they have all these problems that like are difficult to fix in the future. Because this generation isn't the type of generation that would say, let me stop for a minute, turn off everything, you know what I mean, and let the natural ambience kind of consume me so I can have my peace. They're not the type of people like that. They always want the Alexa on, the TV on, the radio on, the AirPods in. This generation don't like silence.
Yeah.
That's where I got some unicorns, because, boy, can you hear my house?
Peace, you know what I'm saying?
Silence. We love a silence in this house. Everyone does their own thing when they're ready. And I've taught my kids, listen, not every day on 100.
100%.
I'm not with it. And I mean, I think they can experience anxiety, but it's about teaching them to rationalize their anxiety.
Very well said.
Because I've had times when I've had anxiety, and I know it's because I'm getting used to doing certain things again. Like I went into hermit mode, for instance, with grief, and I didn't really go out as much as I was used to going out. So there was an odd occasion where when I did go out, I'd start feeling anxious, but I'd rationalize it by asking myself, why are you anxious, babe? Nothing has happened. I would soothe myself and say to myself, babe, nothing's happened. You're just out doing shopping. That's all. Everything is A-okay. Why are you anxious? You don't need to be anxious. But I think it's teaching your kids that, because there is a lot going on in the world. Yep. And I think a lot of parents don't even realize that their children are sensitive to the energy of the world. That's why sometimes your kids might bug out. They feel the energy.
Yeah.
We all feel the energy in some type of way. It's just whether we acknowledge it or not. And the kids feel it the most because they are the purest. They are the innocent. And some of them don't even know that they have certain gifts and blessings, why they even feel certain emotions and energy. So it's helping them to navigate through it. And
they're very detached.
Ask themselves, why do you feel anxious? What makes you think you have anxiety? Tell me. Explain it to me. Why? What feelings do you get? Why do you think you get that feeling? Do you know what I mean? Because my middle daughter is extremely introvert, where she doesn't like being put on display, and it will make her very nervous and very anxious. Do you know what I mean? And she's just naturally been like that since she was a kid. So it's just helping them navigate it, because I think they can have anxiety, but it's about rationalizing it, literally.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That's a very good thing that you just said there still. And I think any parents watching this episode, man, I think it's very important that, you know, if you don't take the time out, because life consumes you and it's busy, you know, take the time out to just sit down for a moment, have a word with your kids and teach them about that little moment of peace. Talk to them about feeling anxiety and, as Divine said, helping them rationalize anxiety and letting them know that it's normal, but it doesn't have to be a thing where it you believe it and it takes over your life.
Yeah, exactly. And I give my children as well. Sorry, I just one quick point. I give my children tools to use if they're stressed out. I give them that safe space to express themselves. And I'm also very strategic in what type of music and vibration I allow and accept in my home.
100%.
That's even people. And I always ask them, if your life's falling apart, what do you do? Who do you call on? What's your go-to? Do you pray?
Yeah.
Do you pray to God? Do you believe in God? Do you know what I mean? Do you know how to calm yourself? Do you know how to self-soothe and also even give yourself therapy? Because if you rely on the world, it's never going to help you like that. You have to know how to help yourself. You have to have a very strong, resilient mind to be able to rationalize things and be like, you know what? Is that really worth my energy? Is it really worth me making myself sick over it? Is it really worth stressing? It's like, life's too short. You have to rationalize things, and I teach them that, you know. Plus, you're going to get a church in my house every now and again. I can't lie. You're going to feel the Holy Spirit up in here, because I need to make sure that we're always covered. I have to make sure we're covered, but I can only do that if I know how to rationalize, self-soothe, give myself therapy without relying on anyone else to fill my cup. Because then the fruits of my tree will leak into my children, and then their fruits will be good. Do you know what I mean? Healthy. And I think a lot of us as adults don't even know how to navigate stress. So how do we help our children even as well? You know?
Very good point, man. And I love that what you said about self-therapy, you know, because I'm not gonna lie, that's something that I've used for myself a lot of times, and it's gotten me out of a lot of jams. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's very important, man. So yeah, man, very good point. I like that.
Yeah.
And that brings me to the, my next question, because obviously Divine has given her account of her experience of stress, and, she's mentioned, helping her children. I've given my account. Verbs, tell us about an account of when you have been stressed at some point in your life, whether past or present.
Why are you trying to give me, trying to put me on the spot like that, blood?
No, man. stress topic, cuz, got to be prepared, man.
I've had loads of situations where I've encountered stress, but I do feel like I'm probably gonna make an account where I owe it in the name of my late sister. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna mention her. So yeah, man. Obviously, I did a talk on YouTube about it, and just kind of letting people know a little bit about what happened and stuff like that, and so 2023, my sister passed away at 33 years old, and she had an operation, and the process afterwards where they sent her home with a machine to drain the fluid so she doesn't get infection. It was under her armpit. They removed all the skin from under her armpit because she had a couple of lumps under there in it, cysts. And they sent her away with the machine, and they were supposed to come and give her the aftercare at home and stuff like that. However, there was some contributing factors that led to the machine slipping off, it becoming infected, and then her becoming unwell. Obviously with the family and stuff like that, we tried to encourage her, especially me, encourage her to go back to the hospital and get the wound seen, to speak to 101. Is it 101 or 111? I can't remember what the number is. Yeah. And get some advice on that. And they told her that because they gave her oral antibiotics before, the dosage weren't enough, so she needed to get it through, the drip thing.
Yeah.
So they can give her a higher volume. The hospitals that she went to, I'm not going to name them because I don't want to bait it up now, because there's a case outstanding, you get me? So, the hospitals that she went to, they both refused to give her the drip. Yeah. So then she got to a place now where she became really, really unwell. And the hospital, the 101 told her to go to the hospital at a certain time. They booked an appointment for her. When she went, they said that there was doctor's strike, so they couldn't see her. Can she come back in the morning? Obviously, by that time now, she's got even more ill, innit? Yeah. So she went to the hospital on a Thursday morning. Family went to go and see her. She was talking, but all strapped up, wires and all them kind of things there. And then, what's it called? In the night time, after family left late in the evening, say 9, 10 o'clock, she fell into a coma. You get me? So she was obviously in ICU being kept alive by a machine. Turns out that because of the hospital's inability to honor her request to get the antibiotics through the drip, it turned into sepsis. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I came down, went to go see her. She passed away, in front of me. Her son was, living with me just before, but he's living with me permanently now. Do you know what I mean? And one thing I would say, I haven't really had the chance to heal from that situation, but I do feel like a level of stress at times because obviously that was my younger sister, innit? Do you know what I mean? And to pass away like that when it wasn't expected at all. I mean, when I came down to go and see her in the hospital, even when I saw the condition that she was in, that image would never leave my mind, man. Do you know what I mean? I won't explain it on here, but it was a very, it was deep. It was disturbing to see the condition that she was in. Do you know what I mean? But I still believe that she would come around. She passed away. And then like from she's passed away now, just before, 2 weeks before her, my missus' mum, she passed away. So R.I.P. to Miss Duncan. You get me? She passed away. That was more like health related, but it was a condition that she was born with. So that was more expected with my missus' mum. So then my sister obviously passed two weeks later. And then after that, it's just been death after death after death after death. And like in total, I've had like 7 people around me, including friends, family members and stuff like that, that's passed away. Do you know what I mean? And the mad thing about it is, I think where I feel stressed, you know, my missus had a conversation and I had to kind of check myself and recognize that, you know what, this is a form of stress you could be feeling, you know, you might need to kind of hold your peace and find some kind of outlet to kind of let that out. Do you know what I mean? Which I've been working on. Things have been a lot better. But yeah, man, I think the bereavement thing and all these deaths coming at one time, how can I explain it? It made me feel stressed and I didn't even know I was stressed. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously with my sister passing, I'm expecting to be stressed, but then with all the other ones that followed up, it's like I haven't really had a chance to grieve yet. And imagine my sister passed last year and it still feels like it doesn't feel real. It's very strange. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. First of all, I want to extend my condolences because when you lose someone so close to you, unless you go through it, people don't really fully understand the stages that you have to go through. So I really take my hat off to you because I see that you are really trying. I see that you're taking care of your your nephew / son now, you know, and that's really commendable because navigating those emotions of grief are very, very complex and you definitely need to take time for yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you're right.
You're in the fresh stages of it. So when you feel like, oh, why does this still bother me? Or why do I just randomly feel like this? I hope you hear my voice or your missus' voice saying to you, you need to just take time with yourself because you are going through something and you have to allow yourself to go through it. Because in all honesty, from experience, it wasn't until I got into my second year, maybe 2.5, 2 and a bit, that I started to feel a bit better with certain things and coping with it. But that was because I allowed myself the time, the space. Do you know what I mean? And you do have to allow yourself the time, the space. Don't do what most people would normally do, which is make themselves extra busy so that they can ignore those feelings, because you can push it down, but it will eventually erupt like a volcano. And have an outlet, have a confidant that you can speak to. Your missus, I commend you, because most relationships don't even survive the impact that grief can have. And the fact that you both went through it and you're both still trying to understand each other's emotions, you have to give yourself credit for that too. Then you've got to figure out how the kids deal with their emotions of it. So I want to extend some loving, peaceful, healing energy to you. And just let you know that you are seen, you're understood, and you're not alone. And just take time with yourself.
I appreciate that, sister, man. That means a lot. Man. It's, you know, the mad thing about it as well, just to add to it quickly, the difficult thing about it is obviously, like, my missus obviously lost her mum 2 weeks before. So she was, I wouldn't even say she was definitely starting the grieving process, but she was missing her mum and waiting for the grieving process to begin. And then when my sister come now, my sister passed away, it's like, my missus at one point said to me, like, I feel crazy because it's almost like I haven't grieved for my mum, but I'm feeling emotions for your sister. And it feels like I'm doing something wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? You know? So it's mad, like, so we both had to kind of just sit down and talk here and there and support each other. And then the main thing for me as well is because little man's only 7, it's like, I find it's mad. I have to have I feel like a sense of responsibility to say, let me try and be strong for him, because his situation is deep, you get me? And he needs man right now. So I need to make sure I'm on point. I need to make sure I'm there for him. Do you get me? I'm looking out for him. I'm talking to him. I'm supporting him. We've put support in school for him. When he comes home, I'm always talking to him about his feelings, because the maddest thing is I used to do bereavement support with youths in the schools as well. So obviously I've got that skill set. So I do that with him. But at the same time, I'm like, boy, you need to do that for yourself, blood. But things are so busy, and I feel so committed to trying to make sure that I'm strong for him. I don't want him to see me break. I tell him when I'm feeling sad, but I don't want him to see me break properly, if you get what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to remain strong for him. And if in a couple years' time, if I feel like I'm going to break, then I'm happy to break in front of him. But I just feel like right now, at his young age, he knows it, but I'm not sure if he's processed it mentally enough. So I don't want to break in front of him and add more to his, you know what I mean? Yeah. To his situation.
Definitely, I hear you. But you can show him that being a man and having strength is also being able to navigate your emotions and allowing yourself to have that space to cry, because I think...
Yeah, I tell him all of that all the time. I don't want him to be that stiff you that can't express himself even in sad times. I tell him it's all right to cry, bruv.
Yeah, you know and even for yourself as well. Like, I think... Because the thing with grief... You know what I mean when I say this. It is so freaking random that it will make you angry, because you're thinking, nah, man, like the way this thing has me gripped, I can't even control anything that I want to do, because I could be fine today, fine in this moment, but then I hear a tune, or you might say something, or I see something on the TV. And the waterworks
you're speaking my experience, man. Like, flooding. About 3 weeks after my sister passed away, I was sitting down editing like a couple of podcast episodes or something. I must have put like one Tupac song, favorite song of mine, and yo, I'm not even gonna lie, it's like I felt my sister's presence in the lab, man, and tears was just streaming, and I was like, oh, this is mad. But at the same time, the tune kind of helped me cope. I find that when I go through certain experiences with death, and I listen to Tupac, I don't know why, but it just feels like it heals. It's strange. Do you get me?
Mm-hmm. No, I fully understand it. Music is definitely healing. And music brings us back to memories, feelings, times that we sometimes wish we could go back to. Do you know what I mean? But I think I stopped trying to resist my tears. I just started allowing myself to feel whatever emotions I needed to feel in that moment. And I realized the more comfortable you are with your emotions, you eventually will find the right people who will also be comfortable to allow you to feel safe in those emotions. You know, everyone around me knows I'm a crybaby, and I don't give a damn. You know why? Because crying and tears is healing. So
100%. But you know what it is, Divine? Like, it's mad. My upbringing is different. I weren't raised on emotions, innit? I'm not saying that's a good thing, and like, I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't cry, blood. You hear me?
Yeah.
The only time I cried recently is when my sister passed away, and I didn't expect it. Like, I walked away when they were saying they were gonna resuscitate her, and I said, I'm not watching that. Do you hear me? And I walked away, and like, the feeling, the spirit just came over me, and I just like started crying. You get me? Prior to that, I'm not even gonna lie, I'd say double figures in years, maybe more than that, 15, 16 years, no tears. And I've been through situations, but that's just not how I express myself, because I wasn't raised on emotions, and that's why I kind of, I pride myself on talking to my kids about managing and understanding feelings, especially sad feelings.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they need to know, because my outlet when I was younger, when I felt upset or when I felt angry and I'm supposed to cry, was to fight. Do you get what I'm saying? To get in beef, to be reckless. Like, you know what? I even was to the point, I'm not trying to gloat or nothing like that, because that's the past, but I'm saying I even got to the point where I was like self-destructive. You know, when you feel angry and you feel like mad despair, where you're like, I'm just gonna go and do a madness to anybody, and if I die as a consequence, mate.
Wow.
It's them or me. Like, I don't even care. I didn't even care about dying. I'm being honest. I was reckless. Like, if I die, I die. If they die, I don't really care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now to cry over things is very difficult for me, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, I am kind of frustrated at the fact that I don't cry, because it's the best outlet. It's the best healer. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't fight now, so as far as I'm concerned, when I'm feeling sad, what am I supposed to do? Do you get what I'm saying?
Do you pray?
Yeah, sometimes. Not all the time. I need to get better at that still.
Okay. Try praying a little bit more, talking to God, because He is the ultimate best friend, in my opinion. And try a 10-minute, I'm going to send you a 10-minute meditation.
Yeah.
Because I think people don't realize there's parts of us in our body that hold our trauma, hold our pain.
Yeah.
And if we don't reset those parts of our body and heal them to a certain degree, we create blocks in our life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to clear your energy field in a certain way. So I'm going to send you a 10-minute meditation, and honestly, anytime you just feel that energy, do that. And I almost guarantee you will notice a difference. You be like, I've just been opened up. Literally, like, you be like, oh my God. At first it will feel weird, because you'll be like, oh my, am I supposed to feel everything so intently?
Yeah.
And feeling everything so deeply, getting to that point, can also feel like a punishment, but it's also a blessing if you allow it to be a blessing, because it means that you're in tune even more with certain things because you've tuned yourself to a certain degree. Do you know what I mean? And you've taken back certain power. You need to go back to that moment even when you was a kid and you just felt like you wasn't understood. You was that little boy who really wanted to cry in that moment, but you didn't. You went and fought instead. Go back to a moment and actually talk to that little boy in you and tell that little boy what you would have liked to hear an adult say. And I promise you, you will notice a difference. But set your energy first before you do it. Give yourself some prayer time, meditate, relax, then do it when it's, and I'm telling you, you will see a change in your life. You will.
Right, send that comment. I'll try that, man.
Yeah, honestly.
As long as it don't make too much. As long as it don't make me too much of a crybaby, though. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's all right. I feel like men who cry are just beautiful, man. There's strength in a man that knows how to navigate his emotions in a healthy way.
But you must be one of the only females that I've heard say that, man.
No.
I know. It's true. My God.
And it's very powerful to your lineage as a man. It really is. Scrap the women that say, oh, it's weak, you're a crybaby. Those women obviously have some blocks too.
Yeah, of course.
They obviously have some trauma they haven't dealt with. So someone who's hurt is only going to hurt you back and not even be able to navigate your emotions because they can't navigate their own. Cool, that was a mouthful. But,
that's real.
But like, nah, man, there's beauty. I want men to know there's beauty in showing vulnerability and owning your emotions as a man. It will make you a better man. It will make you a better leader, a better husband, a better father. And that's all the things you want to be, and a better person overall for yourself.
Well said. Well said. I'm going to try that. Send on the thing, man. I want that.
I will.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna ask you lot a few questions, yeah? And mainly, I would say it's just questions, but it's something that will help our, subscribers and anyone that will listen to this podcast, because I'm sure there are people nowadays, because as you know, we're in the digital age, people look for answers on the internet, people browse the YouTube and type in for certain information, especially it could be stress related, how to deal with depression. Even in my place of work, I ask people, do you know how to, effectively use the internet to look, search for things like mental health and, you know what I mean? So, especially nowadays, you find that, I don't know if you guys have contacted the GP at all within the last year or so. You find now that they are now diverting people towards online. Everything is online help.
Yeah, they got the apps in it.
Yeah, and it's so yeah. What I wanted to say, touch on as well is obviously just sort of like a recap and just basically making sure that the listeners, if they didn't sort of kind of pick up a lot from the beginning, they can understand, what to look out for when it comes to common causes of stress. So, as I said before, everyday life, it may have affected either one of us at some point, but a common one can be work-related issues. It's a common thing. Yeah, because I've been in a job where it's been sales-related. You're only as good as your last sale. I'm sure you've heard of that one, Divine Verbz. Yeah. You have a good month. You might have a good 6 months straight in a row, and then the 7th month you're not performing. Performance management, this, and you know how to do your job, but it's like not every day is going to be the same day. That's what I mean. So work-related issues, depending on the kind of job you do. Financial problems is another thing. You still got that cost of living, going on. You got the likes of Sadiq Khan that's, introducing more toll rolls, more fees. That's what I mean. Relationship issues as well. You have some people that, experience different things in their relationship, whether it's physical violence, domestic violence, mental abuse, physical abuse, you name it. Does that mean all these bring stress, health concerns as well? You have some people that, you know, are going through, you know, life-changing health issues, whether it be temporary or terminal. You know what I mean? It's something that can, you know, stress your head. Cancer is on the rise. You have a lot of people that are just getting the diagnosis that they've got cancer. Some people have been told they've got stage 4. It's terminal. They've only got a few months to live. So that in itself is a massive burden on the head. I know it'll be a burden on my head. I'm not trying to be self-righteous. That will be a burden on my head. Is that what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not a pleasant thing to be told. You know, and even with all that said as well, yeah, people, these things, you know, the Triggered Thoughts podcast, we're not even a podcast, we're a show, and we are out there trying to make a difference to lives. So, you know, these things that we're touching on, especially like today's topic, stress related, you know, we are going to give you, you know, solutions and things that we've applied to our lives that has made a difference. So the things that we've mentioned, yeah, there are outlets, there are places where you can reach out to get help and support. You know, the whole purpose of this is to effectively manage your stress. No one's trying to say to you, you know, that it's going to disappear overnight, but the importance of dealing with it can be a matter of life and death. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
What else? Physical symptoms of stress, you know, once again, you know, look out for things like headaches, muscle tension, fatigue, difficulty sleeping. That's affected. Let me use myself as an example. There was a time when I'll give you an example. I'll go to bed at 10 o'clock. I feel like I've slept for a couple of hours. When I wake up, it's 11 o'clock. Go to sleep again.
Yeah.
Go to sleep again. 12 o'clock. One, does that mean? And you know, I can laugh at it now, but it was a horrific time, man. And you can never ever go to bed, think you can go to bed when you have things unresolved in your head. It's not going to happen.
100%.
You know, and every time I've spoken about this, whether it be to people at my place of work or friends, and they say to me, "Oh man, I'm just going through stress," or no, they'll say, "I'm having issues sleeping, having trouble sleeping." And the first thing I say to them is, "Do you have anything that is occupying your mind? Any unresolved issues?" Stuff that you're battling with, and it's 10, not even 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, they're like, yes, everything you're saying, you're right. You can't, people. You see, when the Almighty created this mind, I call it the powerhouse of the body. If this goes, everything goes, because this is the powerhouse. This is the control center. So if the control center is haywire, just know that that's the beginning of a downward spiral to everything pertaining to your body. You see what I mean? It's kind of like the brain has, the way that the brain has been created, it tells you, you know, when to move your arm. You're driving, you know, like even stopping before you cross the road, your senses. If this is not functioning, man, it's a serious thing. You see what I mean? You know, meditating.
Sometimes even when you're driving, cause you're not even concentrating, but your brain is doing the autopilot thing and making sure you're getting where you're getting. Do you know what I mean?
It's true, you know, no, it's true, cause I can relate to that, man. Yeah, 100%. 100%, man. And, what I want you to get out of there is a common one, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be able to relate to this. Headaches and migraines are not something that you take lightly. Get it checked out, because you know how much people I speak to, whether it be on the social media accounts, and I'm hearing people that have chronic headaches, chronic migraines. It's not something that's normal. It's not normal. So if you have people out there that have had this for years and that, I suffer with headaches, get to the bottom of it. Find out the root. There's a problem somewhere. You can't turn around and say to me that a headache, just think about it. Your head is aching. What is causing your head to ache? Is that what I mean? Migraines. You know, people, listen, you know, I've had a headache before. Let me tell you something. When I've had that, I couldn't function. That is enough to catch my attention, man, and stop me from doing anything, period. Let alone having that on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. Nah. You know what I mean? People, please, whether it means, you know, going out there having a blood test. Just, I mean, just don't leave things and just, thinking that it's the norm, because this is the problem with why a lot of people end up getting, sad to say that, that diagnosis, like, it's at this stage. And then the questions doctors ask is like, oh, how long have you been going through this? Oh, for years. Why did you never bring it to the attention, or why did you never seek any help? People leave these things to the last minute when it's too late. So yeah, people, know your body. If things are not right, if you're getting a headache, your arm is playing up, sudden back pain, all these little things that are divine. It's only when I had my diagnosis, man, I started to read like a book, do my research, man. Do you know, even such things as small as a back pain, arm pain, it can be actually a health issue, but a lot of people just take it for granted. Yeah, people, man, take your health serious, man.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah,
I agree 100%, man.
Well, you're speaking from my experience as well.
Yeah, I used to have really bad migraines, and I always know if my body's stressed, because I will get migraines to the point where I will vomit because of the pressure in my head. I used to have a lot of gut issues when I was stressed out before.
Right.
Don't really suffer from gut issues anymore. I also monitor what foods trigger certain things in my body as well. I think that's another one.
That's important.
You have to pay attention to, because we eat a lot of processed fast food, greasy food, but your body needs natural things like fruit, vegetables, water to actually really keep itself maintained in a healthy way. It's okay to have those treats, because I have treats too. I love all the chocolate, the nuts, the cream, the cheese, and the good cheese, like the Parmesan cheese, even though no cheese is really that good, but the flavoursome one. But at the same time, I'll have a lot of salads. I'll have a fruit. So, do you know what I mean? I have to balance it out, because that affects you as well, how you maneuver your day-to-day energy, even your mental state, So chicken and chips ain't gonna cut it all the time, guys.
try telling that to these secondary school kids.
It's true.
They're gonna cut it, man.
Well, it's true. Psychological symptoms of stress, and for me, it's been things like anxiety. I'm not someone that suffers from anxiety, but try and know if I go for a situation where it's out of my control, or it's something of the unknown, that's enough to trigger my anxiety. Is what I mean? And it's a horrible feeling, man. And one tip I can give for anyone that's going through anxiety, if it's something that's short term, is an empty stomach is one effective way to deal with anxiety. Empty stomach with water, and you know what I mean, it works. If you're someone that's it works, cause man, because the anxiety, I can't explain it. When you eat, it's when you got an empty stomach, man, it's very hard for you to be anxious, man. I'm telling you.
So you're concentrating on the hunger. You're concentrating on your belly fat eating.
You're worried, your belly's just going.
Man. Also, another, psychological symptom of stress is, irritability. You have a lot of people that get very irritable easily, depression. Many suffer with difficulty in concentrating as well. And just, even being overwhelmed is a horrible thing. I speak to people daily, they're overwhelmed. These people may be, struggling to find employment, or being, in long-term unemployment, worrying about, how you're going to provide for your children. You've just used up your life savings because you've been unemployed for a long period of time. All these sort of things. And obviously, we're at a time now where things are going up in prices, but the wages are not really accommodating or equating to there's not a balance, you know what I mean? But, if in all what I've said, what I would say is, the most important thing from all this is how can we manage these things? And, the answer can be, meditation. For myself, I've learned how to take time out, especially in the mornings. I get up and, clear my mind. I just sit still in the bed and I just empty my mind and just, you know what, just relax that couple of minutes, and you'd be very surprised. You can just see your heart rate go down, and then before you know it, yeah, you're good to go. People, if you're someone that, you know, finds it very hard to concentrate, or, you know, find it hard to deal with yourself, try incorporating reading. If you're not someone that likes to read books, try even the ebooks. You got stuff like the Amazon book. What's that app? There was an app I used to read a lot, actually. It was at Amazon. You know, the ebook. Can't remember the name of it. It's at Amazon. That's it, cuz. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, the Kindle. Do you read that still?
No, I don't. I haven't really used that, you know, but I know of it though.
The Kindle. Another thing that I've also incorporated into my life is exercise. So, you know, I train for about an hour in the morning running, then I walk during my lunch break, and these things are very good. It helps, you know, manage your weight. It helps, you know, for you to stay in a healthy form as well. Also gets your heart pumping. All these sort of things they're very, very good measures, and it will help not only your mental well-being, but also your physical well-being. Just general walking, even if you're someone that finds it very hard to, you know, just, how can I put it? Deal with everyday challenges. Try and find a friend that you can talk to. Not everyone, because there are some people out there that are just happy to hear your downfall, but someone that you know that you can trust and confide in, that will actually be a supporting help, that will take time out there and be there for you in your time of need. Because I feel, you know, it's very important, because there are sometimes we can't just deal with things on our own. And I think that when you keep things in, it does more internal damage. Wherefore, if you speak things out, you're more likely to get that release and, you know, that support. Well, yeah, people, that's my part of that. Any of you guys have got any additional things you'd like to add and to support those people out there, the listeners?
Can I go? Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Far away.
I would say try to take control of how you want your day to go, like as in setting the energy from the beginning.
Yeah.
Sometimes obviously there's things that happen that we can't control, but set your day and your life at a pace that is comfortable to you, even if nobody else understands it. Set your life at a pace that is feasible for you and what your household has to cope with, literally. Because for me, I always say to my kids, I don't business what's going on out there in the world. I do, but not to the point where it's going to affect me and then I'm stressed out. And no, we have to have a cutoff point. Like usually by a certain time, my phone is on DND. You can call, but unless I'm physically looking at the phone, I may not see your call. You may even message. Yeah. And to be honest, you may even message, I may see your message, but I've reached my cutoff point. So I'll get back to you tomorrow because we start again tomorrow. It's cutoff time now. It's my time. It's family time. It's rooster time. Set your day in the morning. Don't just be a person that's so used to rushing around. You don't even put a little hot drink in your stomach, a little piece of bread or croissant or banana. Look after yourself in those little ways. Do you know what I mean? Even I used to have bare post-it notes on my mirror. Affirmations. My life is blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm rich and abundantly healthy. And do you know what I mean? Like I used to literally have the post-it notes with the affirmations. So when you wake up, that's what you see. Don't always just reach for your phone straight away, because reaching for your phone, you're already starting with the anxiety, energy, and all that.
That's deep.
We saw a little bit. I have a routine. Even at night time, I have a routine where I set candles. I light my candles. I burn my incense, so my room feels nice. I've already set the ambience. I've got a cup of tea and a little, do you know what I mean? On the side, I've set my energy. I put on my heated blanket. My bed's toasty. My sheets are fresh. I've washed my skin. There's rituals, habitual things you can do that will do wonders for your life. So yeah.
Okay, man. She ain't playing.
She ain't playing. That sound effects, cuz we need that, man.
I know. I'm telling you. But when I press the button, when I press all them buttons, man, I get people complaining saying that they don't want to hear that, bro. Yeah, man.
They're boring, man. You need that. Okay, I can't lie. I love that. I just
You know?
Man.
Nah, that was deep. That was deep, Divine. I like that. Especially the part where you're talking about not getting up and grabbing your phone straight away.
Yeah, that's me.
A lot of us do that, man, and that you're right, man. You're right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because you know, when you pick up your phone, that's all the shit starts.
Yeah, 100%.
The MS shit starts, literally.
100%.
So I'm like, nah, I'm not governed by my phone. I don't even care if you feel a way that sometimes I might take 3 to 5 working days to get back to you. It just depends, innit?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
We'll bear that in mind now. Yeah, we'll bear that in mind. Can't see. So if you're not here for it, let's remember that. We'll hold it to account.
No, I'll be real. Like, obviously, there's people in different compartments. I'm not even gonna lie, of priority and.
You got them in a league table, innit?
Yeah, if I'm overwhelmed, I've got to prioritize certain things.
Mm.
And it just is what it is. And I've been like that since I've gone through grief. Like, my phone is on DND right now. It will stay on DND until God knows what time tomorrow.
Mm.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with that, man. It's your life. You only get one life. You got to manage it the way you see fit.
That's a good, healthy tip.
Yeah, I will check it, but if it ain't nothing important or it's something that I can leave until tomorrow, I allow myself to, because at what point are you going to cut off? At what point are you going to actually woosa from the energy of the day?
And some people don't know how to do that.
I get it. Some people don't even want to. They want to do it, but they don't want to do it, because I know when you sit down, sometimes you start thinking about things that you don't really want to tackle or face. You start thinking about things that become uncomfortable. But in order to get to that better place, you have to know how to woosa. Have a time out. For anyone that don't know what woosa is, have a time out. Slow down. Hold a meds with yourself. Actually check in with you. You're busy helping everybody else like you're Superwoman or Superman. I've done it, but have you checked in with you lately? Do you know how you even feel? Do you know what you even like? Are you even happy? Are you at peace? Even when shit's hit, I'm so at peace that even if shit's hitting the fan, I'm still like, that's still good. I'm still highly blessed and favored because I've allowed myself to get to that point. I gave myself the tools and I followed it through. You have to follow it through. Otherwise, you're always going to stay in a constant state of, I'm stressed. I'm in fight or flight mode. And really, is that how you want to spend all your life? Reset your nerve system. Have a time out. Relax. It's okay. You're not committing a crime. At first, your body's going to fight against it. At first, your mind's going to tell you, why are you not doing this? You're going to feel guilty. You're going to want to get up and do something. Fight against that. Sit your backside down. From Big Sis. Just saying. Sit your backside down. It's okay to sit your backside down and let your ass get big sometimes. It's okay. And I say it with love, you know?
That's that real auntie formula right there, you know?
It's true.
You get me?
Yeah, treat yourself. I remember it all started with me with a mug. I thought, you know what? Yeah, I need to do something for me. I'm grieving. I'm going through a stressful time. I need to change something. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go. My partner at the time was like, treat yourself. I was like, all right, I'm going to order something online. He was like, nah, don't order nothing online. I want you to actually go to the shop. So I went to the shop and I saw a nice mug and I thought, you know what? I'm going to buy myself this mug because I'm going to drink my tea in it. I'm going to relax when I drink my tea in it. And I'm going to also know it was okay. I treated myself. What have you done for yourself lately? It's a good question.
What have you done for me?
You should ask yourself. Next to me.
What have you done for yourself lately? I like that. Nah, for real. Nah, that's a good strat.
I love that, man. Yeah, it's true. That's good.
everybody associates a cup of tea with having that moment where it's almost like a cigarette break, innit? Having that moment when you sit down and you hold the cup between your two hands and you just sip and, if you know what I'm saying. Everybody associates that, so.
I've always got a cup of tea somewhere. Wait, I'm trying to get it in the angle. Hold on.
See? Yeah, I see it still. That's a big mug, man.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be English tea, because some people don't like English tea. There's actual teas, herbal teas, just so people know, that can actively help you with certain things and soothe you, especially if you're setting yourself for nighttime, you're struggling with sleep, insomnia, all that. Exactly. Sit there with a cup of honey, a cup of brown sugar. You know, just set your energy, have a shower, have a bath. When you're fresh and clean as well, you've washed off the energy of the day. You've washed off the stress of the day. Envision yourself seeing it go down the drain with the water. Do that for a few minutes. Even I hold my breath sometimes and count back from 10 to 1 or 5 and blow out. Do that a couple times. Run your hand under some water when you feel stressed or anxious. You see it will kind of set your energy back. You know what I mean? Affirm yourself, people, literally, because you're who you spend the most time with.
Yourself.
You know?
That's a deep one. Still, I love that.
Yeah.
Great advice there, man. You see, listeners, Divine Ladies dropping them nuggets of wisdom, you know, you get me? Trust me, you can learn from this, man, you know what I mean? Try a thing if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, you know what I mean? If situations got the better of you. And the thing that you have to kind of realize as well is, it's not just you that goes through these things. Everyone goes through these things. Do you get me?
True.
You know what I mean? Like, we at the Triggered Thought Show, we help people. Do you get me? People reach out to us. A lot of people reach out to us in the DMs, whether it's just a quick query or a quick bit of advice, or they're reaching in because they want that, you know, a little bit more depth and time when it comes to that advice or help or whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but just because we help them, we don't treat them different. We don't look at them different, because the reality of the matter is we get stressed too. We're all just human beings, you know. Whether the paycheck's higher, whether we're doing content, whether we're not doing content, whether we're just working, whether we're unemployed, whether we're born rich, whether we're born poor, nobody's exempt from stress. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we help people because at the end of the day, we know what it's like to go through it. And who knows, one day, those people that reach out to us, that follow and support our thing, when one of us is feeling it, they might be there to return the favor. It's just how the world works.
That's true. You never know.
You get me?
Yeah, 100%. We're all human at the end of the day. And that's why I learned not to really judge anything, especially from the surface level, because we are kind of quick to judge certain situations, but we never really know what a person has to navigate. You know, people might look at me and think, oh, she looks healthy, she looks confident, but they actually don't even have a clue of half the battles that I've been through. Do you know what I mean? And how I've even been able to get to this point of exercising my boundaries, my throat chakra, even having the confidence to speak on certain things, you know? We all do go through stuff, and don't even be fooled by the cover, because you never know what's underneath it.
100%.
Don't feel ashamed by your struggles. Know that you are human. We're not just going to land here and know how to navigate all these things that we have to deal with. And that is okay. It's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to not have enough to pour into others, because you actually need to take time for yourself, because you're overwhelmed by life and the things that come with it. You're not weak. You're not selfish, you know, and you're probably doing a lot better than you even think.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Gone genius, carry on hosting, you gone quiet, like you're sleeping behind those glasses, bro.
I ain't sleeping, man. No, I've said everything I needed to say, man. I dropped my, that's why I said, Divine, or if you guys got anything to say.
So you're not going to end the show?
Oh, yeah.
You got to drop a closing speech of wisdom for the people before you end.
I thought you had you had anything further to say, sir.
I already just said something, but now you got to drop your Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
What's it? What's Jerry Springer's show called again? When he had that thing, the fort, the ending forts or whatever, his little speech. Yeah, that's your time now. You got to do your thing now. You get me?
Yes, people. So, yeah, man, another wonderful episode. I hope you guys have received a lot from this. There's some, very good, tips and conversation that took place today on today's show. I hope that it will impact your life positively and you will be able to share this with people, either if not yourself that's going through anything stressful. Maybe you got a family or a friend that you could share this to that may help and impact their lives in a positive way. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This will help us out greatly. But wishing you all, a great week ahead. And this is myself, the official Genius Man, out from today's show.
I am your boy Verbz. Good night, people.
And I'm your girl at DivineLady23. Be blessed. Peace be to you. Bye.
Until the next time, from the Triggered Thoughts Show, stay tuned.
Big up, people.
Nice one, man.
Nice one,
yeah. Nice one, man. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, man, all right.
Nice one, man.
Yeah, we'll try the chat tomorrow or something.
Yeah, all right, man.
All right, bless.
Easy. See ya.
Have a good night.
Bye. Yeah, bye.